Willie D Live.
Now, what it's also done is it's given you a window into how people feel about sexuality. It's giving you a window to how people feel about a lot of different sexual issues in our country. And it doesn't make you comfortable. It's something that you're not used to. And while I grew up very similar to you, where it wasn't, to be gay was like, oh, bro, that's gay as hell. You gay, you fruity, you soft. I grew up in that same mindset. But what I realized over time was those cats was always there feeling like they talking shit about me, but they had no way to express it. What the internet has connected them and gave them unity and said, okay, it's time for us to start speaking out for and with each other, because this is hurting people. This hurts people. This is why you see a lot of high suicide rates in these communities, because they've been bullied for centuries. And they're finally getting a voice, and they're finally getting people to say, that shit hurts. It's not cancel culture. It's, yo, when you say this, it affects me. It shit bothers me. Just like when you dig back into old white people tweets and and you see nigger this, nigger that, it's not cancel culture. It's just like, yo, you can't say that shit, dog. You can, but there's consequences, right? It affects people. And once those windows have started being open, there's a lot of uncomfortable conversations that people have to have. And this is part of it. We're just living in the middle of it.
Would you agree that at the very minimum that they are trying to break up the black family nucleus of man and woman? Would you agree to that? By putting this literature and stuff in the schools and telling these kids they can do this or be this, whatever they want, or all that type of stuff. And I don't think you spoke to that either. I don't think you actually spoke to this gender thing, where these kids are changing their gender.
Right.
Having the right to change their gender.
We can have that conversation too, but to your initial question, no, but it's not a hard no, but what I think it's just different. I don't think that they give a fuck. And what I mean by that is I don't think that they some evil scheming smart enough to plant sexuality and to have some arbitrary goal. I don't think that's the case. I think what's actually going on is what's always been going on in this country is that they want and need poor people to be poor. And race is an absolute factor in that. And it will always disproportionately affect black folks because this country has always slighted our communities.
And anything bad is going to have a worse effect on black
yes,
people.
That's why they talk about environmental racism, food racism. It's because it disproportionately affects, even COVID, that disproportionately affected our neighborhoods because we live tighter and closer areas, whereas white folks demographically on general and average are more spread out because they have more land. So I don't think that it's a concerted effort. I think these people in this country, these politicians, these billionaires, these upper millionaires, they don't give a fuck about people. They don't give a fuck about us enough to have equity, to have equality. And so a lot of the shit that you see is a byproduct of them trying to suffocate people with resources economically through job opportunities. And so I think all of these culture wars that we fight amongst are fucking pointless. You're not gonna stop people being gay. Gay people being gay for I don't know how long. Before, I used to study philosophy, right, in college. That's what I went to school for. Plato, Socrates, Aristotle. Back then, a bunch of them dudes was gay. Bunch of them. Mm-hmm. You're never gonna stop people from liking men liking men, women liking men, and women liking women. If it's protection you're worried about, then let's teach and show kids how to properly handle weapons. Let's arm ourselves. If that's the issue. But the culture wars don't do anything but divide. And I take you, are you a religious man? Do you believe in?
No, I'm a spiritual man.
Okay, but do you believe in the Bible?
No.
Okay. Well, there's a quote in there that I
tell
like.
you what I do like. I do like the principle. I do like many of the principles.
I'm an atheist, but I think there's a lot of good stuff in there. And one of them is that, quote unquote, God said, I'm not the author of confusion. And so I think that's a very powerful statement. If you want to uphold a community, then I think the strongest way to do that is to have tough conversations, but then move on and let's not divide. Let's not divide and conquer. Is that not what we try to avoid, and that's not what we've seen the oppressor in this country do time after time again, is divide and conquer. It's just divisive. Who gives a shit where another man sticks his shit? I don't give a fuck. As long as you ain't harming nobody, do your thing. Do your thing. But you can't tell me gay men can't protect. You can't tell me gay women don't have the desire. Like, it's just, there's just no data behind it. I think it's just culture wars to scare people and to divide us. We're already divided. Some of our greatest black leaders were gay. Some of the greatest black leaders were gay. It's like, you can fight that fight and still like men. Don't got nothing to do with me.